Good afternoon, Rochelle here. So today what we are doing is we are doing our third ever California patch, which is basically a technique to fill a hole in a plasterboard wall. In our case it's a Gib Board wall because that's what we use in New Zealand. I learnt this from the Vancouver carpenter, and I have to say I am really liking his stuff. So just getting the camera set up so that hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So I've mixed up my plaster already. This is the first time I've actually mixed plaster. Prior to this I've always used Gib +4, which is a pre-mixed compound. This time I am using Gib Trade Set 90, which has a 90-minute set-off time, mainly because of the fact that I am not confident I can do it properly in a shorter period of time. So I'm better to have that length of time to work with. So what we're doing today, we've got our hole in the wall, which is there. That was originally a power plug. The power plug has now been moved over to there. And that has been moved because where it was originally behind here, there's a piece of furniture that goes here, so the plug was completely inaccessible. I've already cut my piece of Gib to go in, so you can see there. Now when Vancouver carpenter did it, he's using American plasterboard, which is a totally different beast from the New Zealand stuff. Theirs peels off the actual gypsum really cleanly. Ours does not. Ours is, it basically rips off the bottom layers of the paper. So I'm going to put you there and just turn you around a little bit so that you can hopefully see what's going on. Okay, so the first thing I've got to do is just get some plaster. And we're just going to put some on each edge. So this is effectively acting as glue. I possibly should have been using my smaller blade thing, but this is what I've got out, so this is what we're going to use. So I want to make sure I've got a reasonable amount, not too much though. Now the next thing that Vancouver carpenter does is he takes his bit of plasterboard here and he just puts some on each edge, which this is supposed to stop the bubbling that you can apparently sometimes get with this method. So I'm basically going to put a bit in each one, and this will, because the patch has to be slightly smaller to actually fit properly, if you do this, it'll fill in that gap and give you a really good bond. So I am just going to grab this, and I have already test fit it, so I know it fits in the gap. So what I am now going to do is just clean off my knife. So this is a Kango 20cm knife. It's the first time I've actually had a proper knife. So I'm just going to pop that down a bit so I can just make sure that the corners are all in properly, because I don't want this sitting proud of the actual wall. That would be bad. And then we're just going to wipe this in here. And wipe it in each direction. Now, I'm doing this from memory, so it's entirely possible that I haven't got it quite right. One thing I have noticed is that does go in and out of it when I'm doing it. So I don't know whether this is going to be the perfect finish, But at the end of the day, it's in a little bit more than it should be. But I suppose that's better than out. So we're just going to put a bit of a coat here. Now I am aware that I am not doing a great job because I have not done this before. So I've got some, I think because of the fact that my paper is not a full thickness, I've got some wiggles there. So basically what I'm going to have to do is I am going to have to come and do another coat later. There is no way around that particular problem, because this is just messy as all hell, to be honest. So basically, in a while, I will have to come back, knock down all the proud bits. I'm just going to smooth the edges a bit. Considering the fact that I haven't actually done this before, I don't think it's too bad. There's a little bit there where the paper was trying to go in the wrong direction. And yeah, we've definitely got a bit of a fold there. So, but the next coat of mud should fix that anyway. My main worry is this bit here where it's gone inwards. So we'll just sort of smooth that out a little bit if we can. So basically this is the best we can do at the moment. I'm going to have to come back and fix it up a bit more later. But we no longer have a hole in the wall. So let's just have a closer look. So you can see we've got some folding there. But considering I haven't done it before, and the fact that our paper does not behave in the same way that Canadian wallboard does, I don't think it looks too bad. So basically I have to do another coat of that stuff, the trade set, then sand it back, and then after that I will be using the +4 to hopefully do a skim coat over the whole wall once I've done everything else I need to. But today was basically all about filling those holes. I've also got a couple of other areas that I'm going to be using the stuff I've mixed up for today to do. So up there, hopefully you can see it. That's basically a section where when I went over it, I could feel that it was a bit spongy underneath. So I've taken out all the loose stuff. And there's another one down here. That one there. That is where when I was removing the wallpaper, I could see that the paper face of the board was no longer adhered. So I marked it, I've removed the paper face, and I have now put some sealant paint over the top of it so that it hopefully will help it. And then I will use some of the stuff and some of this, which is the same as Fibre Fuse, only it's the New Zealand version and is slightly cheaper in the shops. So, but it is basically a fiberglass mesh thing, which is not, instead of being like a woven mesh, it's just a fused random mesh stuff. So I'm not using that for most of the joints. There is one joint I will probably have to use it for, but most of them I will be using paper tape. The one I will be using it for more than likely is this beastie here. So we've got 2 bits of jib here. I've had to basically pull out a lot of crap because it was built up really, really high on one side. I'm going to have to sand it a bit more before I can get started as well. And then, yeah, I'm going to have to backfill that gap that I've carved out in the middle and use the fibre fuse instead of the paper tape, because I don't want to build it up any higher than it already is. And we had a hairline crack down it, so I couldn't just paint over it. So anyhow, that's it for me today. I've got one more to do, which I will do sans camera, and then I will do those 2 patches, and I think that'll probably be about all I can fit in the 90 minutes. I'm not daft enough to think that I actually have the ability to do a heap in one go. Anything left over I'll just use to fill up nail holes, because there's a lot of them that they didn't fill properly either. So that's it for me today. I will see you guys maybe tomorrow, because I'm hoping to get more done tomorrow. And I will be back tomorrow with a workout. I did a sort of workout this morning, but I've been running around like a blue-ass fly, so I'm fine. And I did do a workout yesterday, which is possibly one of the reasons why I didn't have quite enough oomph this morning. So, yeah, thank you for watching. If you like my content, please like and subscribe, and I will be back.